All right. Good evening, everyone. Let's see. Wow, we got a lot of people in here already. Oni-chan, good to see you. Terror, welcome. Luna, good to see you as well. Servan, good to see you. Cal, was it Selma Heeman? That's good health. Hey, thank you, Cal. Good health to you too, and welcome. A12. Let's see. Vestus Wolf, good to see you. Yes, you did make it in time. Hey, Bernaldez, you made it. J Moo, welcome. All right, we got quite a few people in here. Cool. That's what I like to. That's how I like to end the weekend. Good friends, good conversation, some questions. Oh, I've actually had a good weekend. One of the new books I've been waiting to come out, not a magic book, just a leisure book, actually came out, so I was able to get a hold of that and start reading it yesterday. Between a few friends coming over and having some fun there. Well, I'm glad my hat don't bear teeth marks. It's a heavy enough leather; it won't do that. You keep biting my hat, Tara. Let's see, Cal. Just noticed the font used for the thumbnail is the same one I write in. You will have to thank Sarah Squishy for that. She's the same artist that worked with me to do the Draconic Ruler portraits that are in the shop. And she also did the artwork for Magickal Coffee Hour. If you go back to when Magickal Coffee Hour first started, she did the original artwork that had an animated version of me and Linda in it. And then when we lost Linda and she couldn't come back regularly, I went ahead and got just a general purpose Magickal Coffee Hour, and I had the same artist do it. So Sarah did that. If you're interested in her artwork, she is in the Discord server, so you can pop in there and message her. She's a fantastic artist. Wasabi, good to see you. Wizard Warrior, hey. Kaden, good to see you. Putas, when will the YouTube subs? They're active now. You can go ahead and sign up. Underneath any of the videos or even in the channel's main page, there should be a button that says join. You just click that and you can sign up there. We've actually was mentioning that. We've actually got a few people's already signed up and supporting the channel. I was a little surprised to see it take off so quickly. And to those of you who are supporting and helping us out, thank you very much. Mugs up to y'all. Appreciate it. So, but yeah, it is active now, Putis. Let's see. Oni-chan, been studying Japanese and playing video games this whole weekend. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. KRY, good to see you. Hey, Kaylee, good to see you again, too. Been a while. Let's see, Cal. I've been through the Tiamat Unveiled book, and it's okay. The spells are great, but I feel it reaches more into conspiracy side and really stretches strings using Hebrew code, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, I flipped through that book myself, Cal. I've had a lot of people mention it. I really wasn't a fan of it. I wasn't. It's like there's some bits and bobbles in there. Well, pretty much what you said. There's some things in there that could be useful. But you're right. I was trying to think what was putting me off, but the way you said it kind of leans into that conspiracy side. I think that's it. I think that is a very good way to phrase that, Cal. Let's see. Wasabi playing World of Warcraft. Man, I ain't played that in years. They lost me. They lost me in that one a long time ago. Oh, and for those who are actually currently supporting the channel through the YouTube membership thing, the May coupon for the merch store has already been posted. So in case you missed the notification when it went up there, it is there. So y'all can go grab that and grab you a wall hanging or even just a coffee cup if that's all you want, or any of the other stuff we got up there, like the ruler artwork. I barely have time to play video games anymore. I really don't. Kind of miss it. But then again, I'm a workaholic and I enjoy my work too. So it's a battle against myself. You know what I mean? What are your thoughts about working with deities and dragons? Are any deities best for work? Actually, all the pantheons actually have a very good relationship and alliances with the dragons. So you can actually work with dragons in any pantheon that you want to. I know people really get a little put off sometimes because I say dragons don't like worship. And they don't like to be worshipped. They don't like to be put on that pedestal. But so that leaves some people wanting some kind of divinity or something, or seeking to work with other entities. And dragons work really well with really any kind of entity you want, but they do work really well with pantheons as well. I've not found an entity or pantheon that the dragons do not work well with. And there's not one that I can actually say they work best with or better than the others with. I will say, if you're one of the people who gets into the worship of the Egyptians deities can get really, really hyper focused on worship. That can sometimes annoy the dragons, but they'll still work with them, if that makes sense. I mean, like, I work with the Norse deities. I don't worship them, but I do work with them. And I've worked with the Greek as well. And, well, I've worked with deities from just about every pantheon. Never had an issue. That's one of the things I love about dragon magic. Let's see. Cal, it takes phrases and terms used and sends them through the Hebrew code. I just feel you can get any answer you want. Well, yeah, that kind of goes with anything. It's kind of like astrology from the newspaper. If it's vague enough or you're seeking a specific answer, you'll get it. You'll find it. You'll twist it and make it fit. That's one reason I'm not a big fan of those things. I agree with you, Cal. Okay, the chat's already moving fast on me. So if you have an important question, do remember we have the super chats and the stickers. So it'll flash up on the screen here. Let's see, Wizard. I was experimenting putting my hand through a table a while and was doing what I started to generate a lot of energy within my palm. I knocked over the water bottle about 6 inches away. Didn't touch it. Nice little experiment there, Wizard. Let's see. Think of dragon magic kind of like chaos magic. It's a meta that can be applied to nearly any path. Yeah, that's actually a good way to look at it, Sevo. I've heard some people say that you should avoid certain deities like Apollo because he supposedly slayed a dragon. Yeah, Apollo does have that reputation, but no, he did not. Another one is Archangel Michael. He's also known as the Dragon Slayer. He's never actually slayed a dragon. He has fought entities that have assumed the shape of a dragon, but he has never slayed a dragon. So that's one of the things that when I first got the dragon magic, I was terrified to get Michael and the dragons in the same place because of that. I can't remember if it was the dragons or Michael who pointed out the specifics of that first. But yeah, no, you're good. Apollo and the dragons get along really well, especially Apollo and Zephyr. Those two love to have races. A12, how often do you travel to the astral plane? Well, astral travel, I would say I easily do that daily because I'm at least in my sanctum or in one of the elemental planes, or even in one of the 9 realms, at least once a day. Soul travel, I probably do anywhere from 5 to 6 hours a week in soul travel. Cal, make sure you hit. Oh yeah, thank you, Cal. Yeah, make sure you hit the like button. Give us the thumbs up. Tell that algorithm you actually like what we do, so it'll show the videos to more seekers out there. Let's see, Oni-chan, what do you recommend for starting out as a shaman? Well, that's easy, meditation and trance. That is going to be foundational to any magician, and actually shamans really double down on that, especially the trance work. And then from there, I would definitely move into journey work, because that's going to be your next big tool as a shaman. Of course, you will need to also, as you're developing your meditation and trance, you're also going to want to develop your arcane senses. Yeah, I've heard the theory that airplane design came from Egypt. I have heard that. And I did see the little gold thing that could have theoretically been airplane, but beyond that one little finding, there's not a lot of aerodynamics in the understanding of lift to actually point to any proof, because let's be honest, kids have had toys that don't function in reality. So just because there's a toy of it doesn't mean it's a literal thing. And honestly, toys were made of precious materials back then too, so that would be possible. So we don't really know 100% what it was. They're only making theorized jumps, and their jumps I don't agree with. Theories are fine, but when you're jumping and you're saying it's proof, now you got a problem, because if it's proof, then you have to prove it. You can't just come up with a theory and say that's proof. That's something that bothers me with these ancient aliens people. They don't have proof. They have theories, and they just jump. See, Mysterious, what are your thoughts on the subscription/deep mind, or the subconscious /deep mind in magic? It seems to be a really big part of hermetics and related to the right-hand path systems. The subconscious is related to all magic. Your subconscious is you. The difference is the subconscious isn't as distracted as the conscious mind. And the subconscious can actually move energy easier, but they are still one and the same. They always have been, and they've been talked about in different ways and different functions. The subconscious you actually tap into very highly during a trance state. One of the reasons it's coming up so big these days is people want to reap the benefits of study and research without the work to actually learn to tap into subconscious. And that is kind of a problem. But it's also a big thing within the left-hand path. It's not a right-hand path only thing. The Hermetics did understand the science and everything that went between the conscious and subconscious mind and the psychology there. They are the ones that probably published the first writings in it, or at least the detailed writings. that we still have, but it's always been a part of magic. Oh, it comes up in the left-hand path all the time. It just doesn't use the same terminology, because if you are mastering yourself and you're able to tap into your power, you're already there. So there's no reason to spend all the time talking about it. So, I mean, it's there in the left-hand path. I mean, um, hell, anything that labels dream work is tapping into the subconscious, period. And the amount of dream work that pops up in left-hand path workings these days actually annoys me, because dream work is not a system I'm fond of, because it's so passive and it's not reliable. Even at its most reliable, it's still at a level that, in my practice, by my standards, is still very unreliable. Whereas more active practices I find to be far more reliable and efficient. Cal, need to get my butt back in gear. Hey, it can be hard to make the time for your practice. It can. And we jumped. Okay. Let's see. Terror. Is there a way to tell a difference between a chaos dragon and a wind or slash storm dragon? Specifically, if storm's blowing away, what doesn't serve you to destroy you? Okay. Yeah. Chaos dragons don't deal with weather at all. Yeah. So when we're talking about a storm, chaos dragons don't deal with weather and storms at all. They are complete destruction and creation. They're not just about removing things; they will literally destroy them. But they will also create at the same time. They're also very large, and chaos dragons do not approach often at all. The last thing you want to see is a random chaos dragon. So like 99.999% of the time, you're probably dealing with a wind dragon, or wind and slash weather dragon. See, any tips for doing the ritual of the flame? I think you have a video on it, but I keep putting it off because I'm too anxious. Well, yeah, honestly, the best tips I could give you, Kaylee, first off, would be to watch the video. We do go through it pretty well there. I think it even comes with a demo. But the easiest is to just get in there and do it. It is a ritual that you can't, you're not going to get yourself in trouble with. Work on your visualization skills, and the more you do it, the better your visualization gets. The more comfortable you get with the ritual, the more it's just going to grow with you. It's a wonderful ritual in that way. And it's actually a great ritual for beginners, because there are multiple pieces to it that can allow you to improve your skill sets as you move along. And even if you, let's say you completely just mess the whole thing up, you don't get any aspect of it right, there'll be no bad side effects for it. So honestly, the best tip I can give you, and what I tell my students, is just jump in there and start trying. A deity can't create a dragon, A12. It's that simple. None of the creator gods known to humans can create a dragon. It's that easy. See, Cal, I need to do more dream work. I have wacky dreams. And dream work and interpretation is pretty important to the Sumerian path I follow. Well, yeah, I mean, if it's important to the specific path, yeah, I'd go ahead and look into it. I don't do a lot of dreaming myself personally. So, like I said, it's just not my cup of tea. Let's see, Wizard Warrior. I'm gonna have to start drinking coffee for nighttime practices. Hey, it does help. I mean, it don't keep me up, but it tastes good. Let's see, the Ela. Welcome. Glad you could join us. I will do my spell work whenever I have to. I don't really time it by any particular time of day. My ritual room, actually, I do have a blackout curtain on. Not because I need a time of day. I just prefer to do my workings in dim lighting. So I never use the time of day in any of my rituals. So when I'm working at night, it's mainly because I've just been busy all day long and still got ritual work to do, and it finally quiets down. Though I will say I love the quiet of the night when I do get a chance to utilize it. It's one reason I love doing rituals when I'm out camping in the woods. Freaking amazing. Oh, no problem, Kaylee. No problem. Onichan, do I think the current Ragnarok cycle will come to an end by the end of the year? Ooh, see, here's the thing. The Ragnarok cycle isn't like an egg timer. It's not like we set the timer to 5 minutes, 5 minutes passes, and then woohoo! Man, that'd be awesome, wouldn't it? That would be so awesome, but it isn't. The timer is more based on energetic flow and pushback and how the energies actually continually have like a tug of war happening there. So this is a hard question because it would be really nice if it was over by the end of the year. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? But watching the energetic shifts, the ebb and flow that I've been noticing through this particular cycle, Oni-chan, I can say it's possible. I can say it's possible to be over, but I doubt it. I'm not going. If I was a betting, well, I am a betting man. So if I was going to put my money on it, it wouldn't be at the end of this year. Unfortunately. Let's see what we got here. Drink 2 espresso and a lesser fire meditation. Adapt the constellations of the energy in reverse breathing. Tomo style practice. Then condense it again. You'll be bouncing off the walls. Speaking of coffee, we need a refill. Can't have a coffee hour without coffee. Well, honestly, I've not actually sat down and cataloged them. It's just how closely I work with dragons is the reason I know that specific one. But I would guess it would depend on the deity, the pantheon, what their relationship is in there, because you don't even have to be a creator deity to be able to create something. That's another thing people often overlook. We want to put creator deities on a bigger pedestal than we want to put deities on. And honestly, none of them need to be on a pedestal at all. But so I guess it would really just depend on the individual deity. Like I said, the only reason I'm so certain about the dragon concept is because I do work with dragons so closely, and I do work with many deities across the board. And it's one of the things where was it Odin or Zeus that made the comment originally, and then I checked it with the dragons. Might have even been Hades, but it just caught me off guard because it would never have something I thought of. And then I went back and talked to the dragons, and they actually clarified it that no, they can. The creator deities cannot, in any shape, form, or fashion, create dragons. They also can't create fae. That was actually an interesting one too. They also cannot create fae. So apparently, if something is drastically far enough outside their wheelhouse and it's something they have no power over, then they cannot create it, which makes sense. That actually makes sense. So without an actual catalog on your question there, A12, it pretty much would balance out to they can only create something that they actually have an influence over, if that makes sense. And to even attempt to try it would actually be to go against many of the treaties and alliances that they have, and could trigger a pretty bad war. Thank you, Savon. You summed it up quicker than I did. Anything under the realm of authority. Do I have any? Well, yeah, I do scrying all the time. Scrying's actually my favorite divination. So I do actually look forward quite a bit using scrying. Though you have to understand with future sight, scrying, whatever you want to call it, you're only getting a snippet of the future at that time. And you got to understand that the future is like a spider web, and there's many pathways leading to it. And the different pathways and how you traverse those pathways actually can change the outcome. So nothing's fated. And you actually have to take what the information you get from the future, the information you get from the present, and you have to map out the in between in order to actually manifest the future you want. Thanks, Drake. Hope y'all don't think I'm nutty. I believe to be a creator deity. I may keep asking deity questions. LOL. No, I mean creator deities are pretty common. They actually they've all worked together to create what we know as the physical plane. So I mean, it makes some sense to actually try and understand them. I mean, I actually sought to understand them myself, A12, because on one hand, you got Zeus creating shit over here. On the other hand, you got Odin creating shit over here. On the other hand, you got Ra creating stuff. Then you got Yahweh back here creating stuff. What the hey? Turns out they're all true. They all took part in the creation. So they are creator deities, and they all did work together to create what we know. And the stories are just told from one point of view. So you're not getting the full picture. Well, see, if we're looking for the end of a cycle, Oni-chan, I'd look for Nadiz, because it literally is the rune of cycles. But again, those energetic patterns and flow right now, something would have to massively change for it to clear up by the end of the year. Spitfire asked, "What are good offerings for Lucifer?" Honestly, offer him up a nice beverage of any kind. He's not too picky. Offer him honesty, respect. He's real big on honesty and respect. Offer him your friendship. But yeah, easy offerings to him are crystals charged with energy, a glass of water, glass of your favorite beverage to share with him. I know a lot of people utilize wines, and that's totally okay as well. You can also offer food offerings of just about any kind. He's not picky. Lucifer is a really easy guy to get along with, as long as you don't lie to him. If you lie to him or bullshit him, he's not going to like that. Killer Lee. Let's see, Killer Lee. Hope Drake and everyone is having a good day. Also, sent an email to you. Don't know if you responded to it. Depends on when you sent it. I responded to all the emails I currently have, Lee, in my inbox. So I usually check my emails early. So if it's been recent, then I won't be checking email again today. Cloud gazing, welcome. Oh crap, we jumped again. Let's see. See, they're not always 100% the same. Certain things can change. It can also mean something else, and you got to find out. Baby means like rebirth. Yeah, that's okay. Okay, that's part of a conversation in the chat. Okay, cool. Oni-chan, take it easy, man. Have a good week. Stay safe out there. Let's see. You sent it March 20. Well, I should have responded by now. I will check my spam folder, Killa. Drake, I have a question. When someone is to, for example, try to envision their whole body being filled with white light, how long would that normally be? Cloud gazing, that really differs from person to person. So you got two parts to this equation, Cloud. The first is how long is it actually going to take you to get the visualization of your body as a container and a vessel, then being filled with that light. For most people, that can take anywhere from some people 30 seconds up to 5 minutes. It really does differ from person to person. And it also gets easier with practice. That's something I could probably do 30 seconds to a minute pretty easily, just the white light. Now, that said, what you're doing during this visualization is you're bringing that energy in and you're starting to focus it on you and spread it out and distribute it. So the next part of the equation is how long do you want to maintain that visualization to benefit from the energetic shifts and vibrational shifts that's going to take place during this exercise? And that really is, that itself has two parts. The first one is how long can you maintain your visualizations, which again gets better with time. I know some people, 2 minutes is hard for them. Sometimes a minute's hard for them. But with practice, they can build up to an hour or more if they so chose. And then, of course, the second question is, how long do you want to spend holding the visualization to attempt to reap the benefits? In my experience, once you've got the visualization of the light being focused on your body, 5-10 minutes pretty much seems to be is the most efficient for most maximum benefits. Now, if you just want to sit there and meditate within that energy current for longer or stay in there, nothing wrong with it. But yeah, for efficiency to benefit ratio, 5 to 10 minutes is usually kind of the sweet spot for most people, Cloud. Does that help? No problem, man. I'll look for it. I will look for it. Will it be under Killer Lee? Because I could have swore I already answered everything. Let's see. So, let's see. Savon, okay, thank you. Just don't know when I should stop the visualizations. Like I said, if you're doing it and you get there, a good 5-10 minute meditation and visualization of it, you're solid. You are solid. Let's see, Luna, we're all crazy. Join the club and enjoy the party. This is true. This is true. Terry, there's a lot of things that will happen when you study magic that's going to be weird. And it will have you second guessing your sanity from time to time. But it also raises questions, which those questions send you out for exploration and learning. And much like Savon says, you can take experience, you can filter it through, you can find truths. Never take anything blindly. Always ask questions and seek wisdom and understanding over all else. And it'll really start to come together really well in this beautiful, beautiful tapestry where you know every thread of it. A12, the name sounds familiar, but not ringing on a bell right now. So possibly. Let's see, Kelly. When I meditate, I usually try to visualize drawing in good nature energies around me. If not Kelly, it would be the Archmage Coolness Project. Okay, cool, Kelly. I will definitely look for that this evening. Sorry about. If you haven't heard from me in the next 48 hours, just email me again, okay? Because I will look for it and I will try to respond to it if I can find it. It may have just got lost in cyberspace somewhere. Tara, you don't have to study magic for metaphysics to affect you. That's something. There's a lot of us who were affected by the metaphysics before we actually started studying. In fact, it's some of those experiences that led many of us to study. Cloud gazing. I was thinking about something kind of crazy. If we exist simultaneously on other planes and in the multiverse, then the gods probably do too. Yeah, that's kind of what the whole term omnipresent means with a god. They are capable of actually existing in multiple planes and dimensions at once. They actually maintain themselves a lot better than we do, though. Where it's more different versions of us, it's still them, if that makes sense. So, Savannah, usually before most of us started with actual practice or awakening, we had a usually higher vibration spiritual came. Oh, okay, that's part of that conversation. Dizzy to death, 17 watchers and 20 likes. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a mage. Bucks up to me. I love that. There you go, Dizzy. Yeah. Mother's Day, so the numbers are a little down. Everybody's out visiting their moms, which is understandable. It's always good to go out and see your mom. I actually took the time to reach out to my mom today. She lives 18, 20 hours away from here, so going to visit her was out of the question. But made sure to pop in, say, hi, Mom. Happy Mother's Day. But yeah, we've definitely had people drop in and give us some likes, which is definitely good. We got some more people joining us. Welcome. Wasabi, I wonder if an entity is responsible for taking the one sock from the dryer and leaving the one lonely sock. Wasabi, I've actually wondered that myself. I have, totally. And if an entity is responsible for it, my money on a fae. I don't know why. I have no evidence for that particular theory. It's just something about their personality. I could totally see them just doing that. It's like, I'm going to steal their sock, watch this, and just take off running. I really could. Kaylee, my Wi-Fi keeps crashing. Sorry. I'm like, hey, no problem. Hey, me of all people cannot begrudge you tech issues. I mean, heck, look how many tech issues I've had live on stream, not even counting what happens behind the scenes. That's one reason I'm thankful for your all's support. I mean, I've had microphones malfunction. I've had camera malfunctions. If y'all didn't help support the channel, we'd have some issues. Now, Fae do love to hide things around the house. They really do, especially shiny things. And with maybe the exception of one set of nail clippers, I think every set of nail clippers I've seen has been shiny. So there is that. There is that. So Tuesday, we do have another video for the Goetia, the Spirits of the Goetia coming out Tuesday. So keep an eye out for that, everyone. And we will be still doing the vlogs. Not 100% sure what the vlog will be about this week. Because we'll find out what catches my fancy this week. I'm actually considering talking about a little bit about the cliff off and my current location and findings on that. Just kind of give a quick update in the vlog. Might be a good idea. Good way to touch base. So let's see here. It's already 42 minutes into the stream. So we ain't got too much longer left. Any more questions? Say, Luna, any dragons from the Norse realms in the making? Do you mean any videos on them, or are there any dragons in the Norse realms? Because there are a few dragons in the Norse realm. Videos. Okay, videos. Yeah, actually, I am wanting to do a video on Nidhogg and Jormungandr. I really am. I'm just having difficulties figuring out when I want to do it and exactly which one I want to do first. And I'm wanting to make sure I got my notes collected correctly, and I want to sit down and speak with both of them to find out which angle they want the videos presented from. Because these are two dragons that they're extremely fascinating dragons, let's be honest. And they are somewhat misunderstood. I won't say entirely misunderstood, but they are somewhat misunderstood. So I think videos on them would actually be really great to do. And I do know there's a lot of interest in the Norse entities, especially like Jormungandr. You don't get a lot of questions about Nidhogg, but I think he would actually be a valuable one to do because he is one of the big dragons that pops up in the Norse mythology. I have been asked if I'd do a video on the dragon Fafnir. I probably won't because Fafnir is not a dragon. He was a dwarf who was shapeshifted into a dragon. That's different. But I might do a Norse video on the story of it all the same. But that will be a later date. I'm considering doing Nidhogg first, Luna. If y'all actually have a preference, leave me a comment below and let me know what you would like when comments are activated. YouTube's weird. I wish they'd just turn comments on while I'm live down there. And I would definitely do the one y'all prefer. Let's see. Say, oh yeah, how do I know if the visual works if I can't feel the energy, even after doing it for 5 to 10 minutes? Well, energy follows thought and focus, Cloud, so the energy will follow. Though, check out the basic energy work video here on the channel. There's some exercises for learning to feel energy. and work on your arcane sense of touch. Also, check out the arcane senses video too. So you can actually develop your ability to feel the energy, if that makes sense. Let's see. Kaylee asks, Odin does enjoy mead, yes, but he also enjoys water and anything. Actually, it's kind of funny. If you read the Havamal, Odin does not support drunkenness at all. He does support clarity of mind. So, if the herbs you offer him are known to inhibit clarity of mind, I wouldn't offer them to him because they actually go against his teachings. He's very much a clarity of mind person. Which is very, very evident when you read the Havamal, which is actually the words of Odin, the words of the High One. It's kind of his wisdoms recorded. But that said, herbal offerings can be given. In fact, one herbal offering that is often offered to Odin is mugwort, because it is one that could be smoked at a time. It could be burned as an incense, and it can even be made into a tea, which does help with knowledge, wisdom, and trance work and journey work, which are all things Odin was really big on. So hope that helps you a little bit there, Kaylee, because I can only kind of guesstimate what you mean on the PG front there. And by the way, Killa, thank you for PG in that. Thank you. Because YouTube is funny about their rules and regs, which in order to get as much information out to seekers, I try to follow. And, well, let's be honest, they let me use their platform for free. So, yeah, that's a good deal. And I appreciate you looking out for the channel that way by PG in it. Thank you much. Mugs up to you. Let's see. Mysterious. I need to work on feeling energy a lot. When I ground and draw the energy in, by the time I can feel the energy, I'm way too much. Same thing, Mysterious. Check out those videos and work on it. The ability to feel energy is something you can work on. I know there's a lot of gurus out there who say you either got it or you don't. That's not true. Honestly, at this point, I think they're just being either lazy or they want to keep a special gold star for themselves. I don't know which it is. Maybe it's both. But we do have videos on basic energy work and whatnot. It's Mysterious. They can help you develop that. I may actually consider doing an energy work class for the school at some point too. Let's see here. All right. What tart? Oh, Lord. Okay, there's a frog strangler suddenly coming out of nowhere outside. Oh. Wasn't supposed to storm today. Okay. Oh, crap. Hold on. We still here? We're having some. Yeah, okay, there it is. Okay. Internet's flashing on me now. That's okay. I think we're still alive. Okay, everyone. With my internet flickering. Yeah. Where was your question, Tara? Yeah, if you can ask it again, that'd be great. See, Dizzy, chaos magic is the strongest for me. Many others use it as if a supplement to other practice. Is it strong enough as a standalone practice or just a supplement to others? Okay. That's actually a good question, Dizzy. And here's the thing. Magic is magic. There is not which magic is stronger. That is a very shallow viewpoint that I don't know why authors are doing this and trying to spin this. The magic and the ability to harness the energy and push it forward is based upon the magician. In any magic, magic is magic. Now, some energy currents are a bit more chaotic and can be harder to work with. Chaos magic itself, when you actually read chaos magic, is actually more scientific. It's actually a little easier to work with than other currents. So it's actually pretty easy to get results out of quickly for most people, especially starting out. So yes, it is. I know people who use chaos magic as a standalone practice, and there's nothing wrong with that at all if that's what you want to do. In fact, if you enjoy it and that's what's getting you your results and that's the path you want to follow, by all means, go ahead and do that, Dizzy. Because there is no path that is innately stronger than one another. Even though different energy currents may vibrate differently and may have different effects, and some can be harder to work with than others, that doesn't make it more powerful than another. At the end of the day, it's what the magician is able to do with it that matters. So, for example, some of the higher elements in dragon magic, yes, the magician can't, if they're not ready to harness that and control those energies, they're useless to them because they can't control them. They're more likely to destroy the magician than anything. But if the magician does the work and can manage to harness them and control them, then a little bit of that energy goes a long way. But the pros and cons really do actually end up balancing it out. Remember, the multiverse must remain imbalanced at all times. And you're right, some people do use chaos magic as a supplement. And that's okay too. It's just whatever one works for you, mate. Do what's right for you. Let's see. Do you know anything about the Chinese dragons on wings? Yeah. I've spoken with them a time or two, not a lot. And it's been a long time since I've researched them. So it's like I know who they are, but the details are lost in the past somewhere. I'd have to pull journals on that one. That'd actually be a pretty good video to do on those two. So, sorry, Tara. Sorry. It's just one of those things where I've put so much focus into working in other paths and whatnot. I haven't necessarily dove into dragons of our mythology here on Earth as much. Mysterious type, no powerful magical system, only powerful magicians. Well said, Mysterious. Well said. No problem, Dizzy. No problem. If I decide to make a long video about them in the future, I'll remember that. I will remember that. I actually am wanting to, well, I've been considering looking up dragons in mythology and doing a video comparing them to dragons from the dragon magic perspective and from the mythology perspective. And we mentioned Fafnir earlier. In mythology, Fafnir is a dwarf that was turned into a dragon, not a true dragon. Yet a lot of times you'll see Fafnir pop up as a dragon. Well, frick, Conway actually tried to claim Fafnir was the ruler of fire, which doesn't even remotely touch on the mythology of that being. And, well, if you ask Ingus, he absolutely despised being called Fafnir because he was never a dwarf. So I am kind of wanting to do a mythology series on dragons and mythology. That might be a fun one to do. Let's see. Adrian asks, are dragon spirits akin to physical dragons from what could be the past, and are they the energetic embodiment of old? Or are they? They're dragons. They are straight up dragons. They're not. They were never human. Dragons cannot be human. To be forced to even manifest as a human is a fate worse than death to a dragon, because they would lose all their history, everything. They lose all draconic connections. Period. It'd be horrid. What dragons are now? They are actually beings that, if they so chose, they could take a physical form, if they chose. And the dragons that we've heard about in mythology that were physical on this plane, most of them didn't die. They just changed their vibration to get off this earth. And many of them are still out there and alive today. They literally just left the physical plane for the other planes. If that makes sense, Adrian. So they're not the spirits of dead dragons. They literally are living dragons. And they can actually take their full form across the different planes and dimensions, if that makes sense. There is a dragon underworld and afterlife. That is where you would find the dragon spirits, which are drastically different from the dragons themselves, if that makes sense. So, yeah, there is. There was actually a time. Yes, that is correct. Grant you, there was only some of them that did, not all of them, because dragons do have so much raw energy around them that the energy will actually affect the environment around them. So the bigger the dragon gets, the larger the effect is. So only certain sized dragons could actually maintain on a physical plane without it just destroying it. I mean, an earth dragon, for example, would basically cause earthquakes, mudslides, storms, random vegetation to age, grow, die. I mean, it'd be chaos. But when they're young enough, it wouldn't be that big of an effect. So, Terror, you can still ask. I never said you were cut off. You were the one that said you was cut off. Eve Day, I seen a with the dragons and telling me to stay on my path with dragon magic. Every day I see a connection with the dragons and tell me to stay on my path. Well, hey, that's encouraging. That's a really encouraging thing there, Wizard. Do I believe in the energy centers of the body? If you mean the chakras historically were designed as an energetic map, not a literal translation, that allowed people to understand how to work with the energy body as a whole. So it was taking the whole energy body and breaking it up into smaller pieces and giving it correspondences in order to make it easier to work with. In that context, yes, I do. Do I believe that they are literal things? No, I'm more inclined to believe the historical writings where they originated from. That's actually why you see a lot of magicians these days actually doing a ceremony that's called removing the chakras, because it actually allows them to take a pre-programmed ideal that they were taught and remove the individual chakras so they can work with the whole of the energy body as one thing again. They're not removing their chakras, they're removing the programming that they have to work with the chakras in order to control the energy body. Because it depends on who you are. Some people, the energy map is the best way to go. And having that step-by-step process, it allows them a process and it's easier for them to understand. And for other magicians, it's actually easier to work with the whole energy body as a whole and to manipulate it as a whole. And the ability to work with it as a whole doesn't impede them. So, but somehow in modern spirituality, they have turned the chakra system in from an energetic map to a literal. I don't know how or when that happened, but it was kind of a sad thing to see it happen. The same way you would deal with any overactive energy. Sacral energy is part of your energy body as a whole. It doesn't have a singular location. And if you understand that, then anytime you have overactive sacral energy, you can balance it out as you would balance out any other energy, if that makes sense. So, I'd have to get a hold of. I've talked to one magician. He shared the ritual with me that he done, and I've spoken with others who've talked about their ritual. I didn't write it down, so I'd actually have to go back into my notes and find it. But the general concept is by doing the ritual and removing the chakras, you're removing the programming from your subconscious, which allows you to start functioning as that singular energy body without the limitations. That's the short of it without diving too deep into it, Adriana, because we are running out of time here. And there's nothing wrong with that, Tara. Like I said, some people actually work better with it. And as far as, very artistic, it is a very elegant system and a very elegant energetic map that is fantastic, which, you can't deny that. All right, everyone, I am going to go ahead and hop off. My internet's still acting weird, and that storm is starting to howl, and we hit our hour. Let's see here real fast. Just the fact that the Fae and dragons and more are invisible and very strong ever scare you, or they ever telepathically mean? Not mean without reason, if that makes sense. I mean, I pick on the dragons that I work with. They pick on me, so they're never mean without reason. And usually when they are mean, it's because I'm being stubborn or short-sighted when it comes to the dragons. Because many of the dragons, like Ingus don't give no craps. He has no craps to give. And if setting you on fire and kicking you in the rear is what's needed to help you grow, that's what he's going to do. As to the Fae themselves, Mab scares me. Mab and Tatiana scare me. There's just no way around it. I do, for my part, I consider them friends, but they do scare me. From time to time. There are occasions I forget I'm talking to the queens, and then I say something, and then my brain's like, wait, what did you just say? And I'm like, oh, crap. But it does happen. It does happen. All right. Okay. Cloud gazing. What is grounding in this purpose? Grounding is essentially to ground out excess energy and allow you to balance your energy after being affected by your day-to-day routine and or ritual work when you do it. If you are overcharged or whatnot, it can affect your health. It can affect just your general motor functions. All kinds of different things can happen if you're overcharged. So grounding is one of the things that helps you ground out excess energy as well as negative energy. Pull in neutral energy to replace the negative energy that you grounded and to balance out your energy body again. That was the quick version on that one there. All right, everyone. I'm going to hop off here because I know you guys will keep asking me questions, and I'm a sucker for it. Y'all know that. I love to keep answering y'all's questions. So I'm going to hop off here. going to get some work done. Might enjoy the storm a little bit. And I will see you all next week, Friday, actually, for Research and Ramblings. Hope to see you there. And for all those that are already supporting the channel, thank you very much. This is much appreciated. You keep us going, and it helps us to get this information out to everyone seeking. So we appreciate it. Thank you all very much. I'll see you next week, everyone. Mugs up. Have an awesome week.